Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, one of my highly anticipated games at the moment. Sure, I'm excited for Final Fantasy 16, and sure, I'm excited to play Tears of the Kingdom, yet to play that, so no spoilers. But this one, FF7 Rebirth, oh boy, I'm excited. I'm very excited. I watched a trailer drop live on stream last night with my community, went through the trailer, kind of dissected it a little bit, and analysed it a little bit, and just tried to get to grips with what kind of shots we were seeing, where they were taking place, and all that good stuff. So I wanted to do more of a close-up of the trailer and show you guys bits and bobs of the trailer live on stream here, sorry, live in this video here. I don't have all the answers and I still don't understand the scenes, but I wanted to share what I was looking at. I do think it's important to say that some of the scenes don't line up with what the dialogue's saying, so and vice versa, because I think they're going to make it a little bit hard for us to predict what's going on there. So even though we see a scene and the dialogue's over it, that dialogue might not match that a scene, if that makes sense. Keep that in mind. If you'd like to see my initial reaction that we saw last night on the stream, by all means just let me know, I'll upload it. So just before we begin, I will move my camera around so that I won't be obstructing things as we see through, but I'll be pause-andying, going through and pausing bits and bobs. I will give you my 2 cents on what I think is going on, what scene's going on, and all that good stuff. So let's get into it. The volume won't be that loud, so we'll be talking over it a little bit. So
here at the scene of this terrible disaster, caused by a massive tornado which swept through sectors 0, 1, and 2.
So my initial reaction was the music. I knew it was FF7 as soon as I heard the music, and then you see it saying Sector 2, and you hear the news reporter saying it was the tornado, which... So my initial reaction when I first saw this was like, what tornado? Like, I was like, is it like a natural disaster? And then I was like, I'm being too innocent here. Then I cast my mind back to the end of Remake and was like, well, hang on a minute, this has got to be the whole Whisperers thing. And obviously even when we saw the reveal of seeing Zack alive, he saw in the distance that you can see the tornadoes going around Midgar there. So seeing here our party members here, and I'm about to play the heartbreaking bit for me with trying not to get emotional because these characters mean a lot to me, this whole game does, but seeing the reaction here of our heroes here, my video game heroes, just lying here lifeless and dead, and then I'll play it now, but you'll see here the way that Tifa's arm flops down, like signifying here that she's basically almost practically dead. I'm presuming this is an image of them being dead. And then as we fast forward through, we can see like Red 13 looking lifeless and limbless. Oh, it breaks my heart because poor doggo Red, right? Or lab rat dog, whatever. And then you see an Aerith. Now it transitions over to the next scene here, and I paused it at a really good frame here, and you can see it's another feather. And it's hard to get like a snapshot of exactly what's going on here. I'll try to slow it down and see if this helps. Try and get frame by frame here. I know this is a bit OTT, but people like this stuff and I do. I can't seem to get another frame, unfortunately. But yeah, I've actually tried to pause it, and I did it on stream last night. All it's showing here is a black feather falling down, which is very reminiscent of FF7 Remake, where you constantly see the black feather falling down. There is obviously a theory going around that the black feather is related to Advent Children Sephiroth, so whether that still bodes any resemblance to or meaning to this, I don't know. I also wanted to say something about this scene here. Okay, so yes, with that scene, I think it's important to know that even though we're seeing the Avalanche members dead, you do not see Cloud, which obviously being the main protagonist of the story here, I guess. It's important that we note he's not there. So when I thought about that, I thought like, so where is, if these Avalanche members died here, then where is Cloud? But then when I thought of Integrate and when I thought of Remake, I thought, well, we can't be dead because, or these Avalanche party members are not obviously dead because we see them all leaving Midgar in high spirits and embracing the unknown journey, as they call it. So I do have a theory into where Cloud could be and what I think is happening there, but we'll get to that in a bit. Also, I have to shout out the music. It's so good. and it really like, and the pitch of the da, 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 it really adds a lot of more mystery, and almost like, oh, I don't know, like almost like, obviously it's that famous like sound that we hear from our childhood, right? The music continues even by the way. If you just, I'm gonna not talk about the music now, but the music continues a little bit if you keep listening. But I'm gonna point out here, Cloud is actually, to me, is opening up, and I missed the shot there. He's opening up what I would believe to be the exit of Mithril Mines, and you see a quick shot here, and you can see that this is, I presume, Mithril Mines, because you've got like the pipes going down the side of the screen here, and you can see like red 13 is below Tifa there, and they're just coming out of like a dark mines. It's like, to me, it's quite clearly obvious, but at the beginning of when I was watching it, I had no clue, and my mind went from seeing like the dead bodies of like Tifa, Aerith, and Barrett and Red, which we now see here, and then you can see we're opening up here, and we're in a dark area, so yeah. Oh, can we just comment on like how stunning is Aerith? But I'm going to be pointing out a few things here. I don't know what this means, so I'll point them out. I'm going to just pause and slow down things. So first thing I'm going to point out is you see these two shaped buildings here. We'll see these a lot in the next few scenes. I know that the way that these scenes play, they play in the wrong order. And there's also, I think, a tree here, which looks kind of like the Adam and Eve tree, you know, how it kind of comes out like this. But anyway, let's keep watching.
Look at it all. It's so green, even after.
And I believe this is the ones I just circled a minute ago. I think this is these. And to further show that, I will show you in the next scene. And you see this pointy structure here, just almost like near my head here, right, just like here. This pointy building here, I don't know what this is. It doesn't mean anything, but I'm using it as a way to show you where we are in the world. I don't know if this means that this is the Chocobo farm here. I would imagine not. But looking around, it's hard to see, but it looks like there's some like broken ruins, maybe some debris and stuff. So I don't know what's around here. I also think that this is a pipe. These are pipes, and we'll see some more pipes to signify around Midgar itself, the impact that Midgar's having on draining the planet of its life force. Life force and its energy, and you know, pollution, and the pollution of the world, really. Let's continue.
After everything we've.
So I'm trying to move the angle and slow it down. I'm so sorry for being a bit of a pause Andy here, but yeah, to further show you, look, there's more buildings here, some bricks and stuff here, another building here, and we can't really see much further into the distance there. I don't think this is Calm. I don't think Calm had any kind of like windmills and things. From what I remember of Calm, we've already seen an image of Calm as well, and that has like a castle walls kind of like look to it, if I remember rightly, or certainly has that vibe if you go back to the original.
To it. It's still going.
This shot is nothing in particular there about it. We do see some more ruins here, hard to make out what they are, but we do see some snowy mountains. Now this to me signifies that we're still really close to Midgar, because the only thing that we can see in the original is leaving Midgar and looking north. If you were to look north from where you leave Midgar, you would see the snowy island where, you know, icicling and stuff like that. So beautiful game. Oh my god.
Look that way.
And look, so now we see this image again of this pointy building, as well as these two windmills. Now, is it the same two windmills? I don't know. I would imagine yes, it is. I don't know what this means. I don't know where we are. I love how you can still see, just in like the original, you can see like random islands in the middle of the water. It's so cool. And again, you can see down here, it looks like there's maybe some, that looks like a proper barn shaped thing, maybe, you know, down at the bottom right. So maybe that's where Chocobo Farm is. I don't know. I don't think this means much, by the way. I'm just kind of pointing out some things here.
But in reality, it's barely hanging on.
And you'll see again, you can see that they've shifted certain scenes around, so that some are forward and backwards. So you can see here you've got the pointy building again, and the windmills here again. And this, by the way, this whole scene looks like it's about to transition straight into gameplay. Look. Now, again, you see that we're moving forward here, and we've got the two windmills here. I think that the first shot we said earlier on when I said there's some windmills and like some ruins, and there's some debris going around. I think that this might be this pipe that we just saw. So on my left, there might also be 2 other windmills. But I still think that these are the 2 same windmills. I don't know what the windmills mean, by the way. I'm just pointing out the windmills because I'm trying to get a sense of location of where we are. And again, that pointy building just peeking out over there. If I play it a little bit longer, you can see it just creeps up into play. Again, I don't know what these ruins are here. I have no idea. My image is, in my head, is we're going to get some quite large zones. I think we're going to get large zones. I don't think we're going to get large open world game. I just don't think I want to see resources spent on a map that looks really empty. I'd rather see a zone very similar to FF15 where you're going to get this open world large zone. I say open world large zone. These large zones, but the downside to what they felt in 15 is they felt very empty and there wasn't a lot of things around. So I'm hoping that they're going to feel a bit more life around it and a bit more alive. So I'm thinking that this might be, maybe we can do some side quests here. I also want to point out something that I was meaning to point out before, is we're going to be looking at the, I don't know what this is called, destination bar, I guess, target bar, goal. Anyway, you can see that we've got meters and meters and meters to run. I'll be pointing out this, if I remember, in a few of the scenes coming up. This looks glorious, by the way.
What's Cloud been doing these past 5 years? Where's he?
Now, here we go with this one. I haven't seen many people say this yet. I'm not to say that no one has said it. Of the videos I've watched and have not said it. I think this is the forest where we're going to meet Yuffie. I do think that we're going to go into Mithril Mines and we're not going to have Yuffie. So I think that the forest will take place after Mithril Mines. So again, they're showing scenes in the wrong orders. Purposely, of course, but just more of a showcasing of the game. And bearing in mind, as far as I'm aware, none of this is in 4K, so it's going to look completely different when you play it. And remember, we're still about 8 and 9 months away from the launch of this game. But I think this here is where we're going to meet Yuffie here.
And you're asking me then?
By the way, I'm not even looking at or listening to what the dialogue said. I haven't really mentioned any of that. The reason why I'm not mentioning it is because I think it's more for me, it's about what I'm visually seeing rather than hearing, because I can speculate over the thoughts of what people are saying, but it's hard to piece together what I think they're meshing in 2 dialogues almost at the same time there. Not just this one, but in general, so it's hard to make a sense of, you know, the dialogue, I think, but the dialogue's also important, don't get me wrong. It's beautiful. Chocobo Ranch. Now, is this the Chocobo Ranch that we go to in FF7 Original? I do not know. But what I do know is it looks it's not the one that we remember. It doesn't look like the Chocobo Ranch from FF7. And I think if it was going to be, it would look like that. This structure here, this could be a windmill. So this could be the windmill I was talking about, you know, these windmills and things, and they can see the shape of the building being a bit of a upside down U or N shape. So you can see that maybe what I was showing earlier could be that. I don't think that's the case because the other ones that we saw looked a bit more wide. I'm being a bit over analytical here, but we can see Red 13 chilling here along with their Chocobo above around here. Now, does that mean that we go to the farm and just get a Chocobo and go? Or do we go off and farm a Chocobo and then go to the farm? Maybe we have to go to the farm, talk about Chocobos, then go off and catch our own Chocobo. So I do think there's going to be a lot of that in this game. I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth. I don't think it'll be a matter of, oh hey, you can ride a Chocobo now, jump on and go. I think there'll be a quest line there to it, just like in the original way you've got to go off and get your Chocobo lair and catch your Chocobo, throw Chocobo greens and things. So I'm really, really excited to see what they're going to do there. And this would also kind of fill in time right before getting to Mithril Mines. Let's continue.
Gonna sound crazy, but as far as I know...
Now, I'm sorry to keep being paused, Andy. I'm going to move my camera to the bottom right for just a minute. Alright, so the bottom left, we can see here, we have a few abilities, Scent and Scour. Now, a lot of people are speculating it could be Chocobo Hot and Cold. It absolutely may well could be. I don't think it's going to be, but I think it'll be something similar. Because Scour is like scouring for supplies, right? Like almost like scavenge, right? So maybe Scour would be like the ability to put our beak into the ground to dig, maybe. Or maybe we need to find a key to open the Mithril Mines, maybe. You know, to make and get it into the Mithril Mines a challenge. Because obviously we know in the original we've got the Midgar Zolom, which, you know, they don't mention in this trailer, unfortunately. But I do hope that there is a bit more of a challenge to just getting into the mines. Maybe we need the mine key, or maybe there's something stopping us from getting in the mines or something, right? And so yeah, maybe Scour is we're looking for something there. And scent, I don't know how scent would work. Maybe Chocobos can smell where the nearest treasure is. Again, if you look here, you can see how big the world's going to be. Because going back to like what we were like in FF7 Remake, I think there was a couple of times where we had a goal or a a target that was 1,000 meters in front. But look at this. This is 1,000 meters plus 500 this way for this one and 650 that way. These zones are going to be pretty big. Even if, like, let's say if we were to put a number alongside it, let's say each zone, let's say leaving Midgar and getting to Mithril Mines is all one zone, but let's say that covers 5,000 in-game meters, right? I'm okay with that. That's a lot of running around to do, because 1,000 meters, if you look at the pace of what we're going here, is still quite a long way.
I was never in Nibelheim 5 years ago.
But yeah, also you can see Barrett was of course riding that Chocobo in quite a way there, I think.
The live stream. It is the...
Obviously, we're very excited to see here that we're going to be going Cosmo Canyon. Now, I paused it only because I wanted to say that this obviously shows that in this trailer here, at the very least, I know we're going to go much further, but at the very least, we know we get into Cosmo Canyon. Now, will that be where the game ends? I don't think so. But because we're going to find out at the end of this trailer that the game is 2 disc, maybe the game, disc 1 will end at Cosmo Canyon, and then the next disc will continue with leaving Cosmo Canyon, going to Nibelheim, Mount Nibel, Rocket Town, Temple of the Ancients, you name it, Gold Saucer again, all those again up to the Northern Crater and all that good stuff. Maybe. Or will it end maybe like, say, Temple of the Ancients, maybe? Because now not only are we thinking where's part 2 going to end, now we need to begin to think that if these discs are full-blown games, or full-blown, these 2 discs are part 2, basically, it's where each disc is going to end now. So we now get to speculate on more fun stuff. Or it may well could be that one disc is the data for the game and the other disc is the whole game. I have a hard time believing that if they're marketing it is 2 discs, that one's just the data. I think they could be game in game. And you know what? There'd be something, a massive buzz for me anyway, if I were to see a brand new, modern, next-gen game that's going to be 2 discs long. When did you last see that? Is there even a game out there like that? I don't know if there is. Like, I know, like, you can have some games that are the disc for the data of the game, and then you download the game and then the other disc plays it. I think they did that in The Last of Us 2, for example. But when's the last time you played a game and it said change to disc 2? I would love to see them do that for this game. Now, if that is the case, man, this game could be £80, right? Or dollars, right? It could be a lot of money if it's two disc. But my god, I'm so excited. But anyway, yeah, Bugenhagen, I don't know how we say it. I just call him Bugen. I'd call him Boogie. But anyway, good to see him here. He's got the best glow up ever. I think everyone's excited to see this man. Or thing, whatever he is. I think that we're gonna see him floating on the orb like you do if you Google image him. But maybe he'll be just a floating thing, an entity, or maybe he'll float on this orb right in front of us here. I don't know, but I'm loving the look of this whole like design, and this Cosmo Canyon scene is gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge.
Through its planetary vein.
Dude, just look at him there though. So good, and the colours and the detail in this game. Oh, I'm so excited. Just take my money, Square. Take my money, please. Now here we have some more like blue crystals, I'm calling it here, around here. Now it took me a little while to think about where we are here. Now I saw these like spikes here, and the only place I can think about that has spikes in them would possibly be the G cave underneath Cosmo Canyon. I don't think this is it at all. I'm leaning towards this being Mithril Mines, and I'll show you my further evidence towards that. I think to me it's very obvious that it is, but obviously we're not here to debate about it. It's just speculation at this point. It's fun. People have said it could be the Northern Crater. Again, may well could be. Honestly, it really could be. Maybe this is the entrance here. We see at the top, and they've come down this staircase and ran round. I don't know. I have an idea that we're going to be split up here. We're going to have Barret and Red split up, and Aerith, Tifa, and Cloud going their own way. And we're going to have a boss each. We'll see that in just a moment. But yeah, to me, I think this is... yeah, people have said this could be the underground to Mount Nibble. Could be. Absolutely, you know, spiky parts of rocks and things. I think going back to the original in my own head here, I think in Mithril Mines you have the like spiky bits of scenery, if you like, as well, rocks and things.
Oh, they're connected to.
So you can see like all this here. I hope we get some lore on Mithril Mines, like what is it about and things, because I'm not sure. Even as an FF nerd here, I don't know if I know any lore about Mithril Mines.
That's right.
Yeah, this looks glorious, doesn't it?
Shadows of the...
Now this could be several places. This could be the pipes leading towards Mount Nibble. It could be just a random part of the map. It could be, I think it's personally just a random part of the map. Them showing you possibly like maybe a broken down reactor or a reactor maybe, and they're showing us the pipes that I showed you on the first few images of just the world generally around Midgar, with the pipes and stuff and the pollution from Midgar, to show you like the idea of like what this world has gone through and is going through, and the amount of like pipes there is of just pollution that's Shinra have done.
Man,
so I think it's just a random part of the map here.
I believe you called them.
Sephiroth was in.
This scene clearly just in calm.
We fought.
I think.
Whatever happened, he's alive.
But why come back now?
How gorgeous does this game look?
After 5 years.
So I'm gonna pause here. Look,
Doing who knows what.
you can see it gets a bit like fuzzy here, right? Like it's almost gonna be like a moment for Cloud, or it could be the way that this trailer is edited. Either way, it looks that way. So we got the reunion flashback again. We'll be going over that in a bit, so don't worry. Now, so this is when I said that Red and Barret will split up and have their own boss. It still looks like to me they're in Mithril Mines here, and we've got our own boss here. I don't think this boss is Titan. I think it's his own general new creation. Possibly what appears to be our first boss in the game, which does mean at this moment that we didn't see Midgar's Olim yet. I would like to see them included. Maybe, remember, events might not take place in the same way that they did in the original, so maybe leaving Mithril Mines will have that boss, but I think we'll end up having the bosses I'm going to show in a second as our first bosses in the game, potentially.
We woke it up.
Angered it, more like.
So, our first look of battle. So the first thing to point out, and maybe I'll edit here, is if you zoom into the bottom right here, you can see we've got these it looks like ammunition, right? Which would make sense if it was just Barret, but it doesn't. So these are here, from what I'm gathering, and probably over analyzing and being a bit over critical here, is I would imagine this is our team points, like team tactic points, whatever you want to call them. Clearly it shows that we're only still getting 2 ATBs at the moment. I do hope we're going to upgrade to 3 and then eventually 4. I think that would be amazing for Rebirth, but for now maybe we're going to be using ATBs plus these. Now, does these use ATBs is a good question. I don't know, but also hard for me to say this without being so silly here, but clearly looking at the HP here, they are showing us that I'm assuming our data will not carry over. My argument is with Resident Evil 1, you wouldn't expect to have your ammo in Resident Evil 3 because, you know, same characters, same story. You know, Resident Evil 2 to 4, like, you know, with being, you know, Leon, like, they're new games and new entities, so you're not going to have the same ammo, you're not going to have the same abilities, which is exactly what I think they're doing with Rebirth here. It's its own new game, and that's why they've said that you don't need to play Remake first. You can play Rebirth first if you want to, then go to Remake and either or. And I'm a fan of that idea that you can be able to play it in any order you see fit. Rebirth though, I think they're going with resetting your levels, or starting at a set level. Maybe you start at level 10, that'll be okay for me. But you can kind of see that here, and you can see that we've got our materia over here on the commands menu. We have a summon materia here, equipped, or red materia, so presumably that's it. You can also see Red 13's got his vengeance mode. Now, obviously we don't know anything about that. I wouldn't look at damage numbers either, by the way. I wouldn't be over too critical about that, about these damage numbers here, you know, because again, this might be just reflecting just to show us off the trailer, so I wouldn't overanalyze that too much. Yeah, like Barrett's doing very reduced damage because maybe we need to do certain damage on its like eye or something, right? And then we have the wonderful Elena. Now, in my opinion, I know where this location is. I was thinking like, oh, is it? I've seen some people saying it could be Wutai. Could be. It's got that theme at the back with the lamps and like the reddish background. It doesn't fit that aesthetic to me, and you do not meet Elena in Wutai. In the original, you do meet her in Mithril Mines, so you guessed it. We're still in Mithril Mines. I kind of just point out Elena looks exactly like I imagined as a kid.
But she's still a Turk.
So I can show you it's Mithril Mines, because if you look to behind my camera now, but if I move my camera a minute here, you can see that just in the bottom left here, you can see that this is more Mithril Mines. I don't know if that's Barrett or someone over here, but I don't think so, because this is what I was saying earlier about Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith are all fighting their run boss, which is Rude and Elena, and you've got Barrett and Red fighting their run boss in Mithril Mines, which is that rock golem thing. Might just be a golem, by the way, but the better shot to confirm it is what appears to be Mithril Mines is when you get this shot where Cloud and Tifa push together here, look, right, and then they move out the way and Aerith blasts them, which looks badass, by the way. You can see here she's in Mithril Mines. Right, we're in Mithril Mines still. So to me, it's almost confirming that. Yeah, this is what I thought, that someone was firing something here. I think it's just a lighting. But yeah, you've got a nice little big arena to fight Rude and Elena here. Presumably we're fighting them both. I always found Rude a bit tricky because he picks you up and throws you around. Elena doesn't look like she's holding back at all. I'm very much looking forward to getting to know her a little bit in this. So, also just to point out whether it means something or not. Again, we can see that we've got technique points on the bottom right. Again, they're all empty though, so I don't know how you build them up, or if it just gradually builds up. If I move myself over here, you can see we've got the ward shift, which I think is a new thing for Aerith. So I don't know what that means. Cloud's just ability said Punisher mode, so that's still a thing there. But yeah, I'm very excited here, very, very excited. So, moving on. So we have the next scene coming up here. We have Cloud traversing through what appears to be some sort of nice river. Glorious background, again, looking in the distance and over-analyzing everything here. You can see there's some snowy mountains in the distance there. Again, I don't think we're that close to these mountains, but again, the only islands I can think of that might have snow on it might be up north at Icicle Inn. Normally in the game you are quite a distance away from it, but I guess because we're next gen now, the pretty suit's much closer, maybe. But you can see there is a 1,539 meter here for whatever this logo means now, and we have 270 a bit more to the left of over here. I'm guessing west, right? West, whatever west is, there's something over on the 270 there, and that I'm guessing is like a item or a quest pickup or something, but our goal is north. Look, so again, I don't know when this happens. This might happen, I'm assuming this happens after Mithril Mines maybe, but I can't discuss. I can't guess where this might take place or when. I really can't. Here again, the only little bit of an image is just above my head here of the background that we're going to look at here. I mean, if you want to look at what Cloud's doing, you can see we've got some team points, whatever you want to call them here. Behind my camera here, I won't even move my camera. It just says operator mode, strong attack, and commands menu. Nothing to show there. And again, you can see our goal at the top. We've got goal, and then 648 meters to the left of whatever that is. But again, I think this in the background above my head here is some sort of structure again with pipes again. I think we're just out in the like openness here, and nothing to kind of like note here. Cloud's move here though looks cool. And then we have the Highwind. If you look very close up here, I will slow this down and reverse it, rewind it if I have to. You can see that this is the Highwind, this is the cannon, this is the whole Junin. And in my head, when I was entering Junin as a kid, or even in my speedruns, I've always felt like that the closer I got to Junin, the more like sunset and warm and red the whole area felt. And you can see that they're going for that vibe again as we're entering the Junin area here, and lots of like construction down below here. again, looks so good, but I'm just going to reverse it just a few seconds here so you can see. If you're looking just over here now, you can see the Highwind is moving, the propellers are moving. So there it is, boys. Oh, I'm so excited. There it is. There is the Highwind. Oh, so good. And then you got some Red 13 action in Vengeance mode. I know my camera's in the way again. Vengeance mode. You've got Red with a limit here, which they're not going to show us probably. But they're showing off a lot of team attacks here. Again, you can see we're fighting with this red aura of the area that we're stood around here, clearly around the Junin area. And you can see we've got some like construction over at the bottom over here again. You've got the Highwind again here, still showing off that Highwind area. Team attacks again, but I will pause it here because if you look closely here, you can see we've got 1,185 meters here, 466, I think that's this here, 610 here. Then we have like it looks like a Chocobo sign, so maybe there's like a Chocobo stable here, or a Chocobo ranch maybe. Maybe there's loads of ranches around the world to fill up the, you know, world, make it feel alive maybe. Or maybe there's like a fast travel option. I think that's probably what I'm leaning towards, it being a fast travel Chocobo thing, you know, like we had in the remake where you could talk to like, not Chocobo Sam, but essentially Chocobo Sam and travel around, fast travel around Midgar. But I think that's going to be a little similar to this, so maybe you can go from here to the Chocobo farm or here back to Cam again. I don't think we're going to be revisiting Midgar again, but I do want to kind of turn the camera and go, oof, there's Midgar. I do want to do that though, if that's possible. But moving on. So they're showing a lot of team attacks here. And you can see it's still the same area we're fighting here. This has got a little mark on it here. So I don't know what that means. Quest line, mini quest, side quest. And then we have quite an important one here that a lot of people seem to tend to miss. And then we have this scene right here. Now, a lot of people don't know which scene this is or where it is and what's going on. I believe this is the boat on the way from Junin to Costa del Sol. So in my opinion, this just gets me so hyped because already we're like nearly towards the end of the trailer on the bottom right hand side, you can see. And we're nearly towards the end of the trailer here. And already, you've got to imagine so far, we haven't seen anything after being from the cargo ship onwards. So we've not seen Costa del Sol, we haven't seen Coral Mountains, we haven't seen Coral, we haven't seen Gold Saucer, we haven't seen the whole Dying flashback, we haven't seen Cosmo Canyon, like entering Cosmo Canyon, or even the city itself. We've only seen Bugenhagen. You don't see any Nibelheim, Rocket Town, Gold Saucer again, like Temple of the Angel. You don't see none of that. So it excites me that we haven't seen any further of that. I know a lot of people were disappointed that they've not seen Kate Sith yet, Sid, or Vincent yet, but remember, we have not seen that kind of end of the trailer yet, or trailer side of the story yet. So there's gonna be a lot of that still to come, and I believe FF7 Rebirth have just they're not even started yet. They haven't even shown you anything yet. They're just showing you, like, because they're like, hey, we've only shown you one trailer, let me just show you one more thing, and my god, the fans are happy. We're eating well right now. But yeah, this is the boat on the way to from Junin to Costa del Sol, and this is going to be the boss.
They say
Birth.
she's a monster, that she can peer inside you, into the very depths of your soul, that she can become those you hate, those you fear, those you love.
Now, it's hard to get a really good shot here of who this person is.
Those you love.
A lot of people are speculating that this is Cloud, and I think that's probably the most solid guess. Some people have said it could be Genesis. Could be. Honestly, it could be. I can't deny it could be that. Or I've seen people saying it could be. I've seen multiple theories of who this could be, what it is, why is he, you know, if it is Cloud, why is he here? I've seen a lot of different speculations. I would guess that this is Cloud. Now, it could be several reasons why it could be Cloud. It could be Sephiroth putting this image in Cloud's mind to really screw with him, like he does in the original, to make us believe that we were, you know, created and, you know, just another failed experiment. Yada yada. Could be that, or it could be the fact that maybe, with going back to the beginning of the trailer now, when you see Tifa, Barret, Aerith, and Red you know, basically dead. That maybe if in that timeline, if they're dead and Zack lives, maybe Cloud didn't go off and do whatever he did this instead. So it gives us another sense of direction of almost what our character would be doing at the time. So I think there's going to be this whole thing, this whole like Laguna theory that's going around, that we're going to see like bits of what Zack's doing and what he sees is going on, and maybe we're seeing that because obviously they're going back to the beginning of the game, so beginning of the demo, and seeing what happened at the end of the game of Intergrade, seeing that Zack rushing into the you know, the church, and seeing that Aerith wasn't there, because at that point maybe Aerith didn't make it and she's dead and Zack's alive. But yet it wouldn't explain. One thing that doesn't explain to me is if Zack was carrying, oh sorry, yeah, if Zack was carrying Cloud to Midgar, then what happened to Cloud there? Like, you know, where did he go? So there's a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of guessing games going on here. But I'm excited to, anyway. That was a twist though, because they show this scene in the original. They show the scene in the remake. So the fact that they're showing now this as Cloud, it really threw me off, because they show the scene again. I'm repeating what I'm saying. They show the scene in remake, and it's an old man going, yeah, and that's fine. You know, we expected that. But then when they show us this and now it's Cloud, it's almost like by showing us this, it's like, no, you've changed something now. Now Cloud's one of his own followers, one of his own clones. Maybe it is a clone of Cloud. That could also be the other theory that I've got, is it could be a clone of Cloud, maybe at the end, okay, tinfoil hats now, but maybe at the end of Rebirth somewhere, right, as a Sephiroth type boss, maybe we're gonna fight our clone of Cloud, maybe. Who knows? I honestly don't know what's going to happen there. I imagine there's going to be something else alluding to some more Zack and Cloud stuff at the end of Rebirth, but who knows? Get your tinfoil hats on, boys, because we're going in hard. But let's keep going. I don't know, the way he says reunion, his mouth movement doesn't line up to Cloud that much, but I think it's the only logical solution. It could be the whole alluding to maybe they put voiceover there and make it sound... No, I think that's got to be Cloud's voice, hasn't it? Also, going back to like a certain scene, I think when you go back to like Mithril Mines, specifically the scene, sorry to like jump back a bit here, but some people were saying that they think they hear Vincent.
According to Hojo, they're connected to Sephiroth. Shadows of the Man, I believe he called them.
So I don't know if that's Vincent, by the way. I don't think it is. That must be like, I honestly can't even tell you who I think it is, but I think that that's more than likely going to be someone else, and I think they're saving the whole Vincent reveal for another time. I don't think they're going to slide in Vincent's voice just randomly in there. If they're going to show off Vincent, they'll show you Vincent. They wouldn't tease you with their voice first, in my opinion. So sorry for those Vincent lovers. I know that there's a lot out there, but I do think you're going to get that reveal. So hang tight. You got this. Let me go back to this one though.
You murdered my dad. You burned my village.
So, before we get into this scene, clearly the flashback in Nibelheim, obviously the outfit of Tifa gives that away, so it's no-brainer here what's going on. And I do believe that that dialogue line she just said there, you burned my village, burned my town, you killed my parents, I believe that this is the dialogue that will match this scene. Now, whether this is Sephiroth saying this, or whether it's, you know, voices over his lip movement here, I don't know, but what he does say here alludes to...
Do you know that I killed her? So, who is she?
They do not show you his mouth moving as he says that, so it could be another scene. I think that at that moment there, he's possibly talking to Cloud. So even though it's not him saying that to Tifa and slashing her, I do think that that's going to be alluding more to the whole Aerith thing, personally. I don't think it's alluding to anything else. But, you know, who knows? I honestly don't have a clue, but of course... I'm just so excited, you have no idea. I mean, maybe you have an idea because you've clicked this video. But yeah, Rebirth, and of course, the fact that it's on 2 discs, as we spoke about earlier. So I hope this was concise and neat and you guys enjoyed this. Please leave a like. You know, it'd be nice to support an FF7 fan here. I'm just another creator who wants to share my love for Final Fantasy 7. So hell, give it a like if you love FF7. That would be really good. Thank you so much for spending the time watching this video. Appreciate it. Roll on more FF7 stuff. If you like this kind of video, let me know. I'll do some more about the next few trailers, because trust me, this is only trailer 2 of the very many we're going to get towards Rebirth. So until then, guys, maybe I'll see you playing FF16. As always, from me, Neon Genesis, happy gaming.